December 27, 2018, almost 2019. The garage project. There we are. It's actually starting to rain. It's supposed to be 54 tomorrow. Crazy. I'm in the process of doing the overhangs and closing the overhangs. That is, I got all the windows installed, doors installed. There'll be cedar trim around the base and on the corners and around the windows, and the doors get like a double layer. That's a 6-inch with a 4-inch. And then there's cedar trim up there, and then you basically get a pine soffit with ventilation. But it started raining, so I stopped working on there. And I decided to start cleaning up. And this is what we have in here with the way the windows worked out. And obviously I don't care about the music because I don't get paid anyway, so. But it is a commercial, so I'm going to shut it off.
New alternative, he is engaged.
So, yeah. And this is what happened. I'm in here cleaning all this up around here. Got my saw and all my wood was sitting here and everything. And I'm over here cleaning up, and what do I see? A mouse ran across the garage right there and then stopped in the corner over there. I ran over to him and I imagined what's the word I'm looking for? Managed. I managed to kind of smack him with the butt of my hammer, hopefully to put him out of his, get rid of him. But he took off. I don't know where he went. So I've been sitting there searching around the car to see if he was in the car, and I can't see anything. I haven't tried starting it yet because I want to start using this garage, and since that is now wide open, and now I'm not working in any overhead up there, but outside, I can put the car in here now. So that's what I'm going to do. So it's pretty bright in here with the windows, so it works out pretty good, but I'll turn these lights on right there. But eventually what's going to happen is all of this, I'm going to clean through everything, including all this over here. I'm going to get all this cleaned up, organized, and in here with the car sitting over here. And then this section will be torn down and rebuilt with 9-foot walls versus these 10-foot walls with a floor up above. And then it'll be basically the same height ceiling outside, but it'll be with a floor, so you have a pretty good height if you can imagine. I don't know if that light's blinding you or not. If you can imagine up there, up in this area up here, you have a pretty tall ceiling. You'll have over an 8-foot ceiling in the center. Probably within maybe 10 feet wide, you'll have 8-foot ceiling. But it'll be nice. There'll be a staircase sitting over here and stuff. But yeah, let's get the car started up. I haven't started this thing in 2 months. Maybe 2 months, maybe a month and a half. So let's fire it up and move it into its... Blowing a little carbon along with the door. yeah. You know, this is one of those cars that the longer I have it, the more I love it. I could say that's the first time in my life that's ever happened. I usually get bored with cars pretty fast. But this thing, I mean, just the reliability and the simplicity and the fun and even the styling of it, very, always that retro modern, you know, versus the new one. This has a lot of hints of the old 69, which is the one I love. You know, it's a big car, but I like big cars too, so big cars, big horsepower. But yeah, now I get to clean off the door, spray carbon all over. You can see on the ground now, over there. Yeah, I could probably straighten it out. I'll move it around and straighten it out a little more because I'm actually tucked all the way over to one, or not all the way to one side right now. I have a pretty good gap right here. You know, I might leave it like that because I might slide some of this stuff in between over there. So yeah, that's fine. So yeah, got plenty of room. I mean, I can go all the way around it, and I've got 4 feet back here. Yep, plenty of room. So, garage project is still going. Stay tuned for more. It's gonna be a while because I do this by myself, so it's a long project. But just stick with me, and you get to see it when it's done. It'll probably take me, honestly, by the time I'm 100% done to the way I want it to be, probably a year, because I am doing it myself. And I'm very particular, and I just do step by step by step, and getting through the construction phase and then into the detail phase, which the detail phase is the part I like. You know, getting all the electrical ran, putting the outlets exactly where I want them. I want to put 2 ceiling fans in here. I want to put the nice Obsessed Garage overhead lighting in the bay area here. I want to figure out how I want to do that up in this area here. So there's going to be 4 of those in here. I haven't decided if I want to do all 4 in here or if I want to do 2 here and 2 over there. I don't know yet. I want to somehow be able to light up this side over here. So maybe the light would be straight up there in the corner, and then have the other one on that side over there maybe. I don't know yet. Haven't decided. I'll probably just temporarily place them and turn them on and see what they look like. So, but yeah, I'm going to get the cover back on the car and get the tender plugged back in and continue cleaning it up. But now I can pull my truck in here. The Raptor can now sit over here, temporarily anyway. Okay, I failed to mention the complete updates to the door, so let's continue the video from here, I guess. Of the garage thing itself. Basically, I got all the doors installed, all the windows are installed. Those are a hopper style window. They fold down from the top and they fold inward, so the screen is on the outside, which allows me to leave the windows open on the overhang without rain coming in. Same with on the gable end down there. I can tip them in like this, tips like this towards me, and air will come in, but rain will not come in as it blows into the direction. Those are up that high because it's going over top of my shed in the back, and I want these windows to be high with these windows being low, all of the air to push up and go out the side windows for ventilation. That's their only purpose. Ventilation and lighting. Ambient lighting, that is. This door right here, this is a 9 wide, 8 high door with a high lift kit that you custom order through Menards. It's an ideal door. And I would say the quality is half what the Clopay door is from Home Depot. With that said, it's also half the price. This door with this high lift kit, when this is an R 18.4 door, so it's a 2-inch thick door, with everything you see, I didn't buy anything extra, there's no lift handle, no motor, no nothing, was $850. It is a plus 18 lift. These walls are 10 feet high, plus the 8-inch block. So it's 10/8 at the sidewall. And honestly, I probably could have gotten away with a little more height. But as you can see with the motor up there, I have a feeling when you put the power motor on the top, you'll end up being really close to the ceiling. So maybe not. I did though, if you can see, I tilted the track up in the back. I was able to stretch it up a little bit on both ends, so the door continues going up, gives you more clearance out here. When it's all said and done, I will end up chopping those little pieces of angle off at the end up there when it's all set. But for now, I'm leaving it the way it is right now. I got a pair of vice grips on there holding the door closed. because there's no latch. I am gonna put a side mount, probably a LiftMaster, a side mount motor, so I don't have a motor in the middle to open and close the door. I trimmed it all out and prepared for drywall. It's got a 1x6 all the way around and framed up and trimmed. And then basically, as you can see when you get closer, this is womanized because it hits the block down there. But right here, you can see it's all trimmed up. It works, it's a very good door. It seemed, once it was installed and I was particular, I had to bend some of the channels back. There was a couple small dents in it. I used a suction cup to pull them out. It was just, the quality was crap, but I took my time and it's working. It's acceptable. I was gonna order the one through Home Depot, but after multiple returns back to Home Depot because of issues with the door, the Clopay didn't want to make a high lift track for me. They said they rather just stick with their normal and go with that. And I said, well, that's not gonna work with me. I need a high clearance. And they said they couldn't help me. So after I think about 3 weeks of dealing with that, I finally just said, return it. And the cost, the Clopay was gonna charge me was $1,600 for virtually the same configuration I have here. Now, obviously the quality might have been better and it might not have been damaged. What I mean by quality is the door itself, I think, is probably the same. It just wasn't packaged very well. There were some minor dents. Most of them were on this side. I didn't see them on the other side. But couple of the seams in between, the tabs were bent over. The side was dented in a little bit. The track and everything else seems pretty robust. I did opt for the heavier duty bearings. So, you know, the rollers, these are all roller bearing, just because it's quieter. I mean, this thing is really quiet. But I did notice the cable, the extension cable right there, on both sides rubs the edge of the door. So I'm probably gonna put like an eye bolt or something in that track up there to hold the cable off to one side a little bit so it doesn't rub on the edge of the door. And then I'll probably end up putting a channel next to the door right here with a piece of weather stripping or something on the inside, as well as a piece of weather stripping on the outside to help with insulation. I am going to heat and cool this space, which is another reason why you see the foam on the outside. That's 1/2-inch foam, and there is, which is it's sitting right there. That's the sheets of the foam right there. That's what it looks like. That's R3, you can see it. And then I'm gonna run with R13 or R15. Standard insulation over top of it on the inside after the electrical's all done. The ceiling, I'll probably run a 50. I'm thinking I'm going to run a maybe a 30 going this way, weaved as an attic blanket, 24 wide, going back and forth all the way across, and then in between them, probably a 19. And that'll be paper faced, and then I'll staple it on there. And then I'll probably be using a 5/8 drywall because it is 24 on center, the trusses. That's a ways away. I got a lot to figure out before then. But as of right now, we are shingled, Tyvek, windows installed and sealed, door installed. Both doors are trimmed on the outside. And I'm starting to work on enclosing the soffits. So once I get all the soffits all enclosed, and then I got some trim work to do still on this building, I'm going to move over and start working on the other one. Cleaning this out, throwing away what I don't need or want, and start organizing for this to be torn down. Because I still have to manage that power somehow, and I'm not sure how I want to do that yet. But yeah, there's quite a bit in here. There's a lot of things in here I've held on to for reasons I don't know. I just did. So I'm going to get rid of them all. I think when I end up doing the upstairs, I'll end up organizing some storage space up there, and I'll have like an area for the Camaro parts and an area for the Harley Davidson parts. And if I do any more mods to the Raptor, I'll have an area for those parts. But right now, I got some parts up here. I got some parts over there. I got some parts over here. Just all old parts. And that, I think, up there is the old Camaro parts. Up in there. Actually, no, that's from the F-150, I can tell. That's from the old F-150. I can pitch all that stuff. I haven't gotten rid of that yet. And obviously, I haven't played hockey in a very long time, so I got all my hockey gears in up there. And I probably hadn't played hockey in 20 years, so what's the point of keeping that? You know, I got some windows up here. I think I'm going to use these in the dormer on the upstairs. I have an old Silverado rear seat sitting up there. Just stuff like that. Get rid of all. And then I'm going to try to find somebody who wants these doors, because they work fine. They're not damaged. Who are willing to come and take them, disassemble them and take them. So, it's either that or I'm going to call a scrapper and have a scrapper come and take all the metal. I mean, this door is a 7x8 or 7x9 door, insulated. I think it's a 13 or a 14. And yeah, that's all perfectly good. So, all right, stay tuned. More crazy stuff. Yeah, it's someone else's catchphrase, but it is crazy. I have a tendency to overdo it a lot. And I spend more time trying to stop myself than working my butt off doing the crazy and just keep myself in check. It's a constant battle. All right. Now, this is when you appreciate the high windows. It's not sunny outside by all means, but it is in the middle of the day. It's probably 12 o'clock or so, or 1 o'clock. And it's pretty bright in here. I mean, this does not look like a garage. Now, granted, some of that's going to go away because of the overhangs right now. There's light coming through the overhang, but the windows themselves, I mean, I can see pretty damn well. Considering you go in here, and it's like a cave. It's only got one window, and you can't really see anything. You got to turn the lights on. And here, I don't have to turn the lights on. It's going to be pretty nice in here. I think that's working out really well. So now granted, you can see my neighbor's roof, but if you look at the perspective, you're about even with my eyesight right now, and I look up, eventually, about there, you're going to see skyline. So that's about skyline, which is shedding about to the middle. My voice is probably pretty loud because I'm close to the mic, but you get the idea. So those windows are probably 12 feet off the ground, so those are pretty high. But I could still put cabinets, tall cabinets underneath, which is exactly what I was looking for, which is why I wanted the tall walls. That, and I wanted to be able to have high clearance, and you can see even with that door in there, with the car, I mean, obviously the lift is going to go about center where that window's at, about even with that window. So probably that lift post will be just this side of that window, so I might block that window a little bit, and the other one's going to be about right here on that seam line, just this side of the seam line, I think. But yeah, there's plenty of room. Plenty of room. Even with the door open, I'll be able to lift the car up without a problem. I'm very happy with the design. I planned this and worked on this for probably 15 years, trying to think of how I wanted to do it. I knew I wanted to do a lift, I just didn't know what lift I wanted to use. I didn't know if I wanted to use a drive-on or a two-post or what, and I decided to go with the two-post. Because the two-post you can drive through, a four-post you cannot, unless you lift it up in the air and then drive underneath it. But when you're on the lift, you can't just drive out, you have to pull it back off, raise it up, then drive through. Because I want to be able to move to the pad in the back, which is why I put the door back there. So if I wanted to, I could take this car and I can move it back there. And I'm probably going to put a lean-to over my shed and put the car out there and then work on something else in here. So that's the plan anyway. But I'm just kind of looking around, cleaning up a little bit and kind of getting the real feel for how this is going to work. And saying this is the first time I've actually had the car in here since it was built. And this has only been a month. Actually, it's been, this Sunday will be 5 weeks this building was standing. 5 weeks. So, 5 weeks, and I probably did 90% of the work myself. I had people help me lift the walls up. My neighbor helped me do some of the sheathing, not all of it, but some of it. He helped me do almost all of the roof deck by cutting me sheets or handing me sheets as I put them on the roof, which that was a whole thing in itself. But yeah, crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And I can't believe how bright it is in here right now. I figured I'd show you guys that because I'm kind of impressed with that myself. It's It's kind of good. I like it. I'm happy with it. Maybe something you might want to consider on your garage project is having high windows. So, yeah, crazy. All right, thanks for watching.